government do not need your permission for waking up my people underneath these harsh conditions, hitting us with each and every satanic invention. Children of affliction, may I please have your attention? Fluoride in our water system, food lacking the nutrition. History repeats and this is simply their rendition. Propaganda, lies and slander is the makeup of their mission. Prostitution of our gifts for the rich ass, the rich ass. Why are people dying in the trenches? The trenches focus off the suspect cause we suspect suspicion, but in the end we win through the Lord of our redemption. Time is growing nearer, don't you hear the clock ticking? So help a brother in need to be counted in the flock as one of the sheep. Help as many as you can, we're going fishing deep water, so give us grace, Father.
Welcome in everyone, locked into the Search Engine International. I'm your host, Brother Gocc, bringing everybody here for another week. This week's topic, paganism. Alright? What is paganism? When did it start, paganism? Who are the practices of paganism in the earth today? Joining me in the studio, I have Steve, who's a high priest, and I also have John, also who's a high priest. I'm gonna bring them in just in a minute, and then I'll let them introduce themselves as we go on to the show. And if you're listening via Skype, you can also partake on the show via Skype. What else? Let me see. Yes, the listeners in the UK. I want to say hello to them down in London, Bradford, and Manchester. The listeners down there in Jamaica who tuning in as well. And yes, another bulletin. We had a sister today in Manchester who met in an accident. Got hit down by a car, and asking for everyone if to send some prayers out for the young sister. All right, and yeah, that's it. So without further ado, let's get the ball rolling. All right, let me bring him in. Is it Steve?
Yes, this is Steve. Merry meet.
I'm here in the Clearly, man. How you doing?
Doing okay. How about you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. My name is Brother Gocc.
Gocc, okay. I also go by Juve, but I'm not going to make anyone else pronounce that.
Juve.
Steve is fine.
Okay, Steve. All right, and we also have John.
Yes, hello. My name is John.
Hi, John. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you for inviting me to your show. Merry meet, brothers.
Not a problem, man. Not a problem. What I'm going to do, right, I'm going to let Steve introduce himself real quick. And then after that, John, then you can do the same, okay?
Yes.
All right, Steve, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, I'm the high priest of Coven Oldenwild. It's a Wiccan coven in Asheville, North Carolina. I'll spell it for you. It's Oldenwild, OLDENWILDE, and that's .org if anybody wants to look it up. But we've been in existence since 1995 here, and we're open public witches in the southeastern U.S., so sort of in the heart of the Bible Belt. And that brings forth a lot of stories, which maybe for later on. But we do a lot of civic activism here and try to educate people in the beauty and the antiquity and the validity of what we call the old religion.
Okay. All right. Is that it, Steve?
Yeah, well, I can mention my high priestess is Lady Passion, but she's unfortunately not able to be with us this evening. We do usually, most covens are run by a high priestess and a high priest, so I'll just mention that real quick.
All right, let me get this right. Are you the one who won't be joining us for the full duration of the show?
Yes, I will. Yeah, she's unfortunately not able to be here this evening, but sends her best wishes.
Okay, will you be on for the full duration, or do you have to go early as well?
No, I can be here for the full shot.
All right, man, that's a good one. All right, then we're gonna get back to that. Is it John?
Yes.
How you doing, John?
Very good, thank you. So my name is John. I am also a high priest of a coven. We call ourselves Golden Thread Grove Church, and we also link that with the ATC, as we are charter members of the Aquarian Tabernacle Church, headquartered in Index, Washington. mission of the Aquarian Tabernacle Church is to bring these little covens and these little autonomous groups together as one big organization, giving us validity and strength of numbers and solidarity. Worldwide, we have organizations through the ATC in many countries.
Okay.
So Golden Thread Grove is an autonomous working coven. We have open circle meetings every week where anybody is welcome to come and attend. We have a prison ministry. We have a lending library. We offer service to our community in that way, again, trying to bring honor and service to the old gods and to show the world that people that practice paganism today, people that venerate the old gods and the old ways, are your neighbors and just as normal as anyone else in the world. And
okay, let me ask you, is it non-profit?
It is non-profit, yes.
Okay then. So where did you get your funding from?
Where did I get what?
Where do you get your funding from?
From members. From members and contributors. Myself and my wife are the high priest and high priestess of this organization. We do have a store here, a metaphysical store called Crone's Cupboard. We're here in Boise, Idaho.
Right.
And we do donate and support the church quite a bit, offering space and making contributions to supporting that. But our funding comes from our members.
Okay then. So let me ask the question. What is is it Wiccan? Wicca? What is it? What is that?
Well, Wicca is the name of our religion, and a Wiccan is a person who practices it. It's more or less synonymous with witchcraft, and it's a type of paganism.
Okay.
So we are basically a polytheistic nature religion, which means we consider nature sacred, and we believe in and honor more than one god, more than one goddess.
Right.
Most of us. Now, anything I say is going to be applying to most Wiccans. We're very autonomous groups. There's no one big central, Wiccan central, like with the Roman Catholic Church. So yeah, it's all, but it's basically we pretty much all hold a shared feeling that this is the right and the natural path for us.
Right. Well, I just heard you said you refer to yourself as a church, right?
No, we don't call ourselves a church. Many other groups do. Although we are also like John's group, we're also a nonprofit, and we're legally a legal religious nonprofit here in North Carolina, but also like theirs, we just subsist on donations as far as that goes. There's no grand secret funding source, unfortunately, unless he knows of one and wants to tip me off.
Right. So tell me, you say you worship more than one God, yeah?
That's correct, yeah. And most people that come to the craft, they've experienced different gods and goddesses, or they've had experiences that make them kind of question the kind of the standard ideology that I sometimes call monopoly monotheism, the idea that there's only one God and only one way, and only one way to that truth and that God. Some people, like our particular coven, our main deities, the ones we revere most highly for ourselves, are Hecate, the old witch goddess, and the horn god, which some call Hern, and unfortunately some people confuse with the devil, which is completely wrong, and I'm sure we'll be getting into that at some point.
Okay then. So tell me something. In a country like America, then, for argument's sake, right? Mm-hmm. Would you say America is what you refer to as a monotheist country, or would you call it a pagan country, then, so to speak, worshiping more than one God?
I'd call it a pluralist country. It's written into the very first amendment of our Constitution, freedom of religion. So it means, for instance, like last week when that whole world scandal erupted about the video denigrating Muhammad. A lot of people protesting in other countries didn't understand why the U.S. government was letting that video be circulated. Well, they couldn't take it down because that's part of our, belief here in America. It's got freedom of religion, even if it offends people. You're still free to express it.
Right.
So that's a key thing here.
Right. So what religion would you say they practice in America? For example, the Christians over there now. What do you think? What religion do they practice? Because I see a lot of what you call pagan traditions within the religion Christianity.
Well, in fact, you delve deep enough into the roots of any religion, and that's what you're going to find is what I call the natural religion.
Hold on, Steve. Hold on. I hear John wants to comment on that.
Yeah, can I jump in here just a moment, please?
This, sure.
Yes,
I think that we need to start by defining what is paganism.
Okay, then. What is it?
Well, I believe that paganism, as it's defined today, is earth-based spirituality.
Okay.
The word, by my understanding, comes from the meaning country dwellers, people who lived in the rural parts in relationship with the land, like the farmers, almost like we would, almost derogatory when it started to be used a lot, like we would use the term redneck. Those people who are backwards and live in the countryside and aren't up with the times like us in the cities.
Okay.
And then the word, through its usage, started to take on the meaning and the implication that if one was pagan, then they were godless. They had no faith. They had no belief, which is a misconception and not true.
Okay.
And many of these folk traditions and these elder spiritual practices of the indigenous peoples of the world have been ritualized and customized where they've fallen into the space of tradition, and then they've been picked up by the next group coming along and adapted into the modern holidays and celebrations and traditions that we have today in their many forms and faces.
Okay, and who are these people are we referring to? Call names.
All people. So in America, we practice Christmas, which is largely, most people think, a Christian holiday, but it has its roots and its traditions going back long before the Christ. And the evergreen trees and the lights, it has always been a celebration of the return of the light upon the earth and the child of light and the child of hope and promise, long before Master Jesus ever walked this earth.
Right.
And John's right, and you look at Easter also, and that's the dawn of the year, just like the dawn of the day. It's even named in English after a pagan goddess of the dawn, Eostra. And the more you look into so many of the traditions around Jesus, you'll realize that there are also traditions around the sun, the solar deities. So again, Easter.
Let me ask, how comes modern Christians can't pick up on this?
How come what?
How comes modern day Christians cannot pick up on this fact?
Well, because they're it's what I call one-way onlyism. It's this idea, and it's not just confined to Christianity, but it's this idea that there is absolutely only one way to the truth, and it's got to be through this one person's interpretation of this one holy book that came from this one source, and they just it's like having blinders on. You can only see what you're allowed to see. I think I know a lot of fundamentalist Christians who just refuse to read anything that hasn't been pre-approved by their particular church.
Okay.
And it goes a step further too, Steve, in that my way is the only way, and my interpretation is the only correct interpretation. And even though we're using the same book and working with the same deity, my way is the right way, and you got it wrong.